a 500A. It's from about the mid-90s, early to mid-90s. And I did a couple things to it. Came with a simple pistol grip. So all it had was the Mossberg pistol grip right here. And first thing I did was to go ahead and get this ATI stock. Now I was going to go ahead and get the adjustable stock that goes in and out, but I decided to go for this guy. Main thing was having pistol grip. This is the universal model, so it fits on Remingtons, Winchesters, and Mossbergs, and even Mavericks. So it has this butt pad, which is very, very comfortable. It's heavily padded, very mushy, I guess is the word. That's what flies around. But it talks about basically one guy going out and shooting it, another guy that had problems installing it. I had no problem putting this guy on. It was very easy to do. Pulled off the factory Mossberg grip, got this guy, put it in, got a bolt with the adapters that are included with the kit to go ahead and fix this, and overall it's pretty good fit. I mean, there is a little bit of a gap in between the trigger guard, but I mean, it's not too bad. I mean, you can go ahead and you still got a good grip, you still got good length of pull. You go ahead. It's just very comfortable. For me, I usually go ahead and this, I would extend it. I wouldn't have it in too far, you know, but I'd be squared off and going and, you know, basically holding it in this fashion. So, you know, I don't do it like this. You know, squared off, going and doing it. So, going, length of pull, everything's all good. Probably going to swap this out next. This is the factory heat shield that came in with it, but I did add the HFD2. It's a pumpkin puncher. So this guy right here, it just has a bunch of little set screws that go ahead and affix to the stock cap. There's also a center screw that goes in and winds up tightening down into the end cap on the magazine retention tube. Our magazine retention screw that goes into the magazine tube. So this guy, easy upgrades, and it's a great stock. I mean, it's really, really nice. I like it. Other people said they've had bad experience with ATI. I've had this on for a couple of years now, and it works great. And then this is just a Blackhawk shell holder, so I just have it retained here. My receiver, being that it's early, it's not milled. So, you know, if I wanted to go ahead and have anything added as far as sights, it just has the factory bead here, you know, so going up and adding any sort of sights. Bead sight works for me, you know, it's worked for years, it's all good, but trying to go ahead and get something a little tactical, if anything, I'd probably go for the Spitfire sights. So I just don't know how well that would sit up here with being that the way the magazine sits. So I may just go ahead and just get some high vis fiber optic here at the front, just leave well enough alone. But back here it'd be easy to really mill and go ahead and have on down there, that put on there. But the highlight that I wanted to talk about today was this ATI stock. Like I said, it's a great stock, works well. I'm 6 foot, and my length of pull, for me, it works out fine. I mean, when I've gone taking it shooting, my buddies, they have no issues with it, you know. So I mean, I like it for the fact that it's very sturdy. If you're gonna go ahead and fend off, I have a better foundation to go ahead and use this. If I was going to go ahead and be fending off, I mean, this can go ahead and go and really do some damage, you know. Go ahead, call it it's a breacher, you know, so called the pumpkin puncher. But I mean, this can go ahead and wreak havoc. Then, like I said, having the ability to go ahead and have a much sturdier fiberglass stock to go ahead and fend off with in a defensive situation, great. But I mean, this thing is huge. Look at the length on this thing. You know, it's a 8-shot. You know, 7 in the tube, 1 up chambered, gives you a total of 8. So I mean, it's 20 inches. It's a 20-inch length barrel. The next ones down are 18.5 inches, so it's 1.5 inches longer than the 5-round model, or 6. So it's like 5 in the tube, 1 in the chamber. So 6-shot versus 8-shot. So the Scorpion model was kind of what I was going for originally, but I got a great deal on this. It's great. Had it, like I said, it's a you know, there's, for me, the rock solid. I've always been with Mossberg. When I was going and looking at shotguns, I was going the route I was going to go towards Remington. But then my buddy had Winchester, and I was thinking about going the Defender route. And then I came across Mossberg, and I figured that, you know, there's a lot of pluses for Mossberg. If it's the one that came out on top and it's good for the military, then, you know, it's pretty much good for me. I mean, granted, it's the 590A1, but I mean, overall, it's the same receiver, be it a 500, 590, or 590A. The difference in the 590A1 is that it's a beefier tube, I believe, the barrel. But I believe the receivers are all the same. I could be wrong, but I think that's the information that I have in my understanding. But since the 90s, I've always bought Mossberg. I've stuck with Mossberg. And long story short, this was under $100 getting this stock versus I think you can get the kits for about $150. So you go ahead, you get the forend, you get the retractable stock. I don't want a folding stock. You know, that just, to me, it doesn't make sense. But I mean, for me, going in, I like being able to go ahead and have this guy where I can use my forearm and go ahead and still fend off and still have control. So I like having a sturdier stock, and that's why I went with this guy. It has the same butt pad, I believe, as the it's a Scorpion butt pad, I believe. So I think that works. It works out great. Easy upgrade. So all in all, I think you can pick these guys up for about 250, under 300 bucks. You can get the shotgun, 300 bucks. This, I want to say it was like 20 or 30 bucks. Could be wrong. And then, like I said, this guy, I think I got it for like 50 bucks. So all in all, I made these real simple upgrades. Shell carrier, stock, and this guy for all under 100 bucks. And all in all, you figure if you're going to do it yourself, you're in for about anywhere from 350, 400 bucks or so. And the Scorpion, I think, is about a $500 or $600 shotgun. Plus, I have 2 more rounds. You know, 6-shot versus 8-shot with this guy. That are also able to shoot magnum loads. So you shoot 2 3/4 inch shells, or you can go ahead and shoot 3-inch magnum. So for me, works great. The big thing what I was trying to go ahead and show is I'll go ahead and get some footage of shooting this thing, but it's basically the stock. Basically, I wanted to emphasize the stock is that when you're going ahead, there's some drawbacks. People complain about it. One is being the safety. Now, when you're going and you're holding it, you know, generally you have the safety here, and you go ahead and you have access to your trigger. But the Mossbergs, they're up on the tang. So for me, it's not a big deal. I go ahead, put that up, and then I'm ready to go, right? And this thing is empty. There's nothing in it. So I should have done that from the beginning. But anyhow, this thing is empty. Now, the other portion is you're going ahead and reaching over, hitting the lever, go ahead and keep it to open up the action. You can go ahead and just reach like this. Essentially, I'm just going ahead, wrapping my hand around, have access to the safety. You know, so it's, I've gotten familiar with, for me, having this. You know, you figure in traditional stock, it's pretty much this sort of configuration, right? Your just have the pistol grip that's in the way. So it's still the same. The thing is that you just have to have that quick transition from that's hot, okay, that's safe, and then just going ahead and wrapping down this way. Being that I'm here in California, and with my ARs, you know, we had some, if you go ahead and you work your configuration on your AR, either a featureless or a fixed mag, there's still a couple of steps. So for me, I went fixed magazine, which means, you know, it's a couple of different movements in there. So for me, with this, it's kind of the same. So kind of used to it, if that makes any sense with what I'm trying to say. That, okay, it's not that big a deal. People made a big complaint about it, that, hey, you know, the safety's here versus here up on the trigger guard. It's not that big of a deal. It's not that big a transition. You're going, you're grabbing, you're going hot, boom, you're ready to go. If it's a matter of you're ready to fire, see how I did that? I just went and just transitioned up this way. My finger is still able to pull the trigger if need be. So it's not that big of a deal having this stock and this grip down here. You see, my thumb is able to transition easily, going from wrapped around the pistol grip to up on top. That's safe, ready to go, bring it back down. So go ahead, boom, boom, safe, hot, come down, safe. It's not that big a deal, not at all. And the other factor is, you want to go ahead and you want to unload, open it up, same thing, my hand's coming up, I'm able with my middle finger, able to reach up and grab that lever. It's not that big of a deal. So go ahead, firing position, want to open it, boom. Real easy to do. And the balance is good, you know, having this stock, you're able to one-hand it. Just go ahead, like I said, you go ahead and need to reload, pull from here, go ahead and reach under. You're going to go ahead and load in from the top. You can load in from the top, and you have the support like you would holding it off like so. See, just one hand, able to load this way, underhand it this way. You want to go ahead and come in traditionally loading this way. It's all good. So this stock, I love it. People complain about it. Apparently they've had issues with customer service. I've never had to call them. You know, came right out of the box, brand new, easy to install. Had the adapters, sorted them out, got the bolt, put it on. Literally took me 10-15 minutes, not that big a deal. 5-10 minutes to take the old one off, another 10 minutes at most to go ahead and put this guy on. And essentially they got a rock solid tactical shotgun for cheap, on the cheap. So that's my take on this guy. I'll try and go ahead and get it out and get some shots of it being fired. But overall, I would love it. It's a great one, a great option that's out there. This, having my, I've had people as tall as 6'2", and on the low side 5'4", shooting this thing, male and female, and they've had no problem with this going and firing this thing. So I mean, it looks longer than what it is, but you figure factory wind comes in here and then it kind of hunkers down, gives you that curve, you know, of the traditional rifle type stock. But overall, I think it's an optical illusion. I'll have to double check it and see. I can't verify because my shotgun came factory with a pistol grip, so I didn't have a rifle type stock on it. But overall, this is my Mossberg 500A with the ATI stock, and it's a great stock for the price. I love it. I think more people should go ahead and give it a chance because it is universal. You can use it on Remington, you can use it on Winchester, and you can use it on Mossbergs, the 500, the 590, and the 590A1, and you can also use it on the Maverick series, the Maverick 88.